Well, here we are again in the hayfield. This is starting to feel like the job that just will never end. I should have about 25, not about, I should have exactly 25 big bales. Of the big bales, I'm gonna try to sell about 20 of them, I think. And then all the small bales need to come home with me. So it should take me about 4 loads of the small bales to get them cleaned up. But I was thinking, while I'm grabbing the small ones, I should probably start arranging the big bales into little piles, and then I can disc fire breaks around those piles. So we'll have a fire break around the entire field, and then fire breaks around individual piles of hay that are gonna stay out here until I can get them sold. Never hurts to have double insurance. So I'd like to maybe get 2 loads moved today. After we get done with that, I wanted to run my yearlings through the chute again that I doctored for Pinkeye in the last video. And I'd like to kind of get a feel for where they're at, if they're getting better, the same, or worse, and then re-doctor any of the ones that still need it, and just kind of give you guys an update on where we're at with all that. And I'm sure something else will come up along the way. It always does. That's what's going on today on Farmer Tyler Ranch. I am so confident that I'm coming back for another load, I'm gonna leave the tractor out in the field. We got 16 on the trailer, which means we're gonna have more than enough to fill up the main part of the barn, and I'm gonna need to start cleaning stuff out of the wing here, because on this very load, we'll start putting bales in here too. So I think we'll unload this half of the trailer first. I gotta move my live stream set here. Then we'll mess around with getting that cleaned out. Well, that's it for the main part of the barn. We still got 1 bale on the trailer that needs a home, so I need to move some of this stuff. The problem is none of this stuff really has a place. That's why it's in here, because I just didn't know where else to put it. So we'll move it out of the way for now and try to think of somewhere permanent to put it later. So, watch out, you guys. That'll be fine for now. Well, that'll work for now. Seems like I say that a lot, don't I? All right, let's go after the next load. Well, second and last load for today. We'll try to make it fast. Well, it feels like we're closing in on being done with this, but in all reality, there's still a fair bit to do. But you know, every day we just keep chipping away at it. Okay, what do we need next? Vet bag. It's been about 5 or 6 days, I think, since I brought these yearlings back from the summer pasture and doctored them all for pinkeye. They were all kind of at various stages of severity with their infection, and today I want to run them through the chute again, take a look under these patches, see what those eyes look like, and then it looks like the 2 black steers probably could use another shot of medicine. I like to get them healed up as soon as possible, especially these heifers, because, you know, being locked up here in this pen isn't doing me any good as far as getting them bred. They need to get back with that bull. Hopefully we haven't missed the window for this cycle, but it takes as long as it takes, and I sure don't want to send them back up there until they are fully recovered, or at least well on their way to being fully recovered, because I don't want to have to go through all this, bringing them home, locking them up, doing all this run around again. Let's just do it once, we'll do it right, and then we'll be done. I've heard it said several times that with pinkeye, whether you leave it alone or doctor it, it'll heal itself in a few weeks, and that really hasn't always been the case for me. To be clear, sometimes that is true, and more so with adult cattle. They can usually get over the infection by themselves with no intervention from me. But in younger cattle, especially calves, this is typically not the case. In my experience, when calves get pinkeye, if you just leave it alone and don't treat it, or don't catch it out until it's been going for a while, generally what happens is it'll end up spreading to the other eye, which leaves them blind, or in some cases I've even seen it evolve into pneumonia, which is a far greater problem than pinkeye. Now these yearlings here that we're dealing with they're neither young calves nor are they adult cows. So it's kind of hard to say which way it's going to go. It's really important for me to stay on top of this with all the cattle, but especially with these yearlings, because where I've got them over there at the steer pasture, there's really no good way to doctor them. So once I get them caught and have them here, it just makes sense for me to take it all the way and make sure that they're making a full recovery before I turn them back out there. The absolute last thing I need over there is a blind 1,000-pound steer. Trying to get that into the trailer would just be a total train wreck. So we want to avoid that at all costs, and this is what I've got to do that. Come on, kiddos. Oh, don't do that. That was really half-hearted, wasn't it? Yeah, he looks worse, for sure. No. Come on.
Now we're going the right way.
Okay, one at a time here. First we got 23, 25. This is the heifer that was real bad that prompted me to even bring the trailer up there in the first place. Alright, I need you to hold still, girl. Looks like her patch is just hanging on. Not much. So let's see what. Hold still, hold still. Well, if she would hold still enough for you to see, we still got a little bit of weeping going on there. Let me try to get it with my phone. Open up. Little discoloration there still. So I would say she's not all the way there yet, but she is heading that direction. So I'm not going to give her any more antibiotics, but I will treat her eye with the spray and the powder, and then we'll try to re-glue that patch back on, and I think maybe in another week she'll be good to go. Alright, I guess every time I put my hand on them, that seems to do more harm than good. One more shot. Hold still. $23.32. His left eye looks fine, but I can see his right eye has got a white spot in it. I think we'll go ahead, do the spray and the powder, and I'll go ahead and put a patch on him as well. Yeah, I know. Nobody likes that part. I don't blame you. I'm sure it doesn't feel good. There, that's a good shot there. That's what we needed. Well, if you're gonna rub it off, do it now so I can fix it. Away here. Off you go. The patches are designed to fall off after a week or two. Usually they start rubbing on them. I think when they start feeling better, they really start working on trying to rub those things off. So they don't just like magically fall off. They rub them off eventually. Their disapproval. I think this is the one that I almost didn't bring home, and you can see he's got a, well, you can't see because he's closing his eye, but he's got a pretty advanced infection now. Well, that spray must burn or something, because they do not like that. It's not going to open it. Come on, buddy. Let's see what you got here. Let's see what you got here. No, he's not into it. Oh, come on, dude. Just open it a little bit. A lot of times they just refuse to open their eye, and you can try to sit there and open it with your hand. Well, good luck. It's not as easy as it probably sounds like it is. But what I'll do sometimes, if they're doing that like he is if I can just get it open enough to get, you know, the underside of that eyelid to show, I'll spray the medicine on that and then let him close it and kind of like work his eye around a little bit. And my theory is that medicine kind of gets worked out and it gets to where it needs to go that way, even though I don't get that direct hit on the eyeball. I will say this: you're holding still. You're a very good patient in that regard. You just don't open your eye, which, you know, who could blame you, I guess. You are just, I mean, this guy does not move. It's great. Get that patch right where I want it. Get it glued on real good. Kind of got a chuckle. You can tell they've been eating nothing but hay for the last week because they just can't get enough of these weeds in here. There's one in every crowd, isn't there? What are you doing? Go back with them. You better stay on the side where you can see me. Go on back. Go. Where everyone else is going, and try that. There we go. Well, I'm honestly not quite sure how to summarize that. Looked like both of the heifers did look better, although they were certainly not like completely healed. The steers, one looked worse for sure. The other one was maybe the same or maybe worse. I guess the big win here is that the animals appear to feel better. And I know this is a very subjective thing for me to say, but when I first brought him home, I thought, especially the white-faced heifer, she just kind of seemed miserable. The way she carried herself, the way she acted, it just wasn't quite normal. And it's very hard for me to articulate exactly why I think that or how I observed that, but I did. And I think that now looking at them, they move and act normally, which tells me that they must be starting to feel better, even though their eyes don't necessarily look completely healed. I think we're on the right road here. It's just going to take a little more time. Well, I got the cow sprayer all filled up and ready to go. Cows are set to move pastures today, and I felt like the flies were starting to get kind of bad out here, so this is a perfect time to get this thing going. And right there is our newest member, number 62, the second calf heifer that I've been waiting on to have a calf. Finally had this little guy the other day. It is a bull, so I'm gonna need to get a band on him and I need to get an ear tag in him. But yeah, he's a healthy little bull. Looks great, and I think that's probably gonna be the last calf that we have this year. We still have number 16 that has not had a calf yet, but I'm just looking at her and I don't think it's gonna happen. It's getting late and it's getting hot, so I think we're gonna call it here. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch. Well, I guess I got your water full, didn't I? I hate it when that happens. Well, at least I remember the hose was on before I went home.